Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Neighbours. Today we got Leena on from LK Laser Aesthetics and more. She's much more a dynamic individual. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you have your space now in the St. Andrews Village Plaza, LK Laser Aesthetics. When did you get that space?
Early this year in February. 2025.
And where were you before that?
So prior to that, I was in East Gwillimbury. I'm still there part-time, but there I just do my naturopathic consults. Prior to that, I was partially in Don Mills and in Ronsonsvales, downtown Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you like it up here?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I moved from downtown Toronto up into Stouffville, so close. But I really like the energy here. I like the people. I like the community. Yeah. I really do.
So you do a variety of things, but let's start with the naturopath, right?
Yeah.
How does, and coming from me, I've been dialing in more and more into health. Probably when I first turned 30. I'm turning 34 this year. Yeah. So that's probably when I became more conscious of it. How'd you get into it? And, how do you think about that part?
Okay, good question. So basically over 20 years ago, I was in university at U of T. I was studying to become a lawyer, and I had my own health problems. And I didn't get the care that I felt I needed from mainstream medical. And so I had to do my own research. I had to basically find my own answers. And I knew nothing about naturopathic medicine at that time. And then with my research, I slowly started to find out there's a whole nother world out there that nobody knows about or nobody talks about. And through those alternative measures, I took care of my own health. And that made a big impact on my life. And I said, why couldn't anyone tell me these simple things about my digestion, about my joint health, about my inflammation, whatever it was that I was dealing with? I'm like, how come I couldn't get the help that I needed? So then I found out about the Naturopathic College. And I said, you know what? This is something that I was so passionate about. I said, I need to do this. So then I took all my basic medical sciences that summer, and I just totally went in a different direction. I went to the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine. That was a 4-year program. I did that after 3.5 years of my university training. And I just fast-tracked, and I did that all in 7.5 years. I was like, I want to do this quickly. I want to get this done. And I started working right away, and I loved it.
Was it the health things that were coming up, was it like stress-related because you were in school to be a lawyer and just like doing that, or?
A lot of it was stress-related. A lot of it was I just found out that I have a herniated, hiatal hernia. And so a lot of my digestive problems I was dealing with, but it wasn't until, I'm 49 now. It wasn't until last year that I just found out that I had that, because I pushed for more imaging because I was like, something's just not right. So a lot of it was stress. A lot of it was genetics in my family. Everybody has digestive issues. A lot of food sensitivities. I had so many allergies, and I was so sensitive to medication. I couldn't even take Claritin extra strength. I had to take 3-4 a day just to breathe in the summertime. And so that really, I just kept on asking why. Why am I the only one in my family that has allergies so bad where I couldn't even breathe? And how come I can't tolerate all these medications? My body was just saying no. And so it was those type of things that were, when I got natural relief, basically with cleansing, detoxing, I found out I have so many food sensitivities, healing my gut, cleansing my gut. It started with my gut. Most of it started with my gut, and that's where most of your immune cells are. So as I started to learn more about physiology, anatomy, and all those things, I was like, this starts to make sense.
Yeah, so obviously anything good is when you're solving your own problems, because I think that's when you have first the most passion to do the actual work that is needed to actually, find the answers, seek out the truth of it. So you go down that path, and then I guess the results come and you probably fall in love with it.
I was like, this is so simple. I just have to do this, this, and this, and then I can breathe this summer. I'm not sneezing constantly. My eyes are not red and watery all summer, and I don't have to take a million pills. So I was like, I had my passion for natural health just really grew, even though I was the only one out of all my friends. All my friends were going to business or whatever else, and they thought I was like so different. Like, what are you doing? And bringing my own meals to like events and stuff. But I was like, if I eat this, I'm gonna feel good. If I eat that, I'm not gonna feel so good, right? So yeah, definitely had a big impact on my life.
And like it started 20 years ago, right? So, it's still probably more people are aware of it now, right? That especially 20 years ago too.
Over 20 years ago. Yeah.
Over 20 years ago, where before, I mean, I don't know, was it like, oh, that's woo woo at the beginning of it?
Yes.
But now with like so much information, so many people are more educated now, right?
Yes.
It's like, oh, okay, like there's a lot more to like human health than
so there's different
come
types
to
of
me
medicine.
when you're sick. And
exactly.
Like,
And my mother was a registered nurse, so she had that medical background. But we're Asian. I'm Korean. And so I grew up with herbs that you wouldn't see in the average North American household. But now I see, this type of tea, that type of herb. I grew up with these ginsengs and stuff, and I just thought that was normal, right? But now people are starting to get, you can get ginseng here, you can get this tea there, and it's becoming more mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are being more open to it and more accepting.
Yeah.
But definitely there are different types of systems for healthcare, like different philosophies, Eastern, Western, there's so many different kinds. And so I like that I can merge both of them.
Yeah.
So when I have clients who have the same type of background where they're like, oh yes, I grew up with that, I'm better with herbs, I can help you with that. If people are like, I don't believe in that stuff, I don't push it. I never push. It's like, what are you open to? Do you need help with your diet? Do you need help with supplements? Do you need help? Whatever it is, I can modify for each person.
Yeah, it's like identifying the problem, then reverse engineering what the plan is that works for the person, because it has to work for the person or they ain't going to do it.
Exactly. And that's why I would say it can be a perfect plan for whatever the situation is. But if you're not going to do it, it's useless. Yeah.
So you go through that and then you spin that up into your career, your business. Like that's what the focus is going to be.
Yes.
And how do you start to get your first clients? Just friends and families, people that will listen to you?
Okay, good question. So I was really, really gung-ho about, getting out there. So when I graduated, I was working at 2-3 different clinics. Some in Scarborough, some in the West End, some in downtown. And then my family opened a health food store. And it was already very, very, very busy in a community in Rossensville. So I was there and I was working with my clients there. And that's how I met a lot of my clients. Is they knew me from being in the store. They would speak to me, but it was such a busy atmosphere that I didn't have time to sit down with people unless, they booked appointments with me. And then it's like, okay, let's sit one-on-one. So the initial intro was through the store.
Which is like target customers already there. It's a health food
That's
store, right? They have the herbs and the ginseng and stuff.
You're surrounded by all that. So yes. Yeah.
And kind of as the business career evolves, or your business evolves too, right? So as I know, you have the naturopath kind of core piece of it, but it has led to some super high technology stuff, from a hair restoration and from kind of a laser application type thing. Some things that maybe you are just ahead of everyone else. Where like you're on 20 years ago, you're on the naturopath side of it. Now you got these machines where it's like no needles or anything, but it has all this impact too. And probably in 20 years from now, they'll be like, oh yeah, of course, those machines.
I used to think that I was what's the word, jinxed in some way, because I'm like, why do I have all these issues? I had hair, my hair was thinning, hormones were out of whack, my gut was off, and allergies and all these things. And I feel like these things happened to me so that I was pushed into, it's like I had no choice.
To find the solution.
Because I'm not into needles. I don't like needles. I don't like pain. I have a very low pain tolerance. So what's available now in terms of beauty, and I'm not against it, it's just not my preference. I don't want to be jabbed in the head with a bunch of needles. I don't want to be jabbed in my face with a bunch of needles. So, it's not for everybody, and it certainly was not my preference.
Yeah.
So I had to do my own research again, and I was like, I'm almost 50. I want to age gracefully. And so I found these devices and I label them as laser, but they're not true lasers. So what I do for hair restoration is TED, transepidermal delivery, and it's using ultrasound technology. So there's no needles, there's no pain, there's no damage to the scalp, but it helps to penetrate deep into the hair follicle so that your hair can grow using a special serum. So that's for the hair restoration part.
And you were thinning of the hair?
Yes. This is where we're going to show my awful pictures of my before and after, where I wanted to cringe when I saw them, but I'm like, I have to showcase what I went through because that's part of my passion of trying to help others who are in the same boat. Hey, some people are like, let's do this type of treatment, let's do that type of treatment. They're fine with needles, they're fine with being jabbed. That's great.
What is kind of the TED process? So what, I'm balding or I have hair thinness, come to you, do a consultation, and then you put me on like a protocol or a program. Like what does it entail? Like
for TED?
Yeah.
So basically, if you have thinning hair, or if you know you're genetically prone to having thinning hair, like your parents have thinning hair, or you just notice that your hairline is starting to recede, which is what happened to me, and you're concerned about it, maybe you went through a stressful moment, maybe your hormones are off, maybe you have inflammation, whatever it is, if you come in for a free 20-minute assessment, I do a scalp analysis. It doesn't hurt, there's no pain involved, and I just assess first, what is the health of your scalp? Okay, so just from that alone, I can say there's inflammation, you have seborrheic dermatitis, you have whatever condition, and then that has to be addressed first in order to be able to do the treatment. Because if you have plaques on your head, for example, how is your hair supposed to struggle through those plaques? You have to clear those scales first, right? So that's just a simple example. If you have inflammation, we have to target that inflammation because it's not just do this treatment and your hair will grow. Yes, you will get about 70-75% improvement with these treatments, but I want to give you the best results. So part of that is diet, part of that is supplementation, part of that is what are you using for shampoos, right? So it's all chemicals that most people are using. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that $2-3 shampoo that you bought, it's just stripping away at your scalp. So I want to give you the best chance to succeed, no matter if it's for your health, general health, for your skin, or for your scalp needs.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's say we get everything all dialed in and then we're actually using the machine of it. Is it 1 treatment, 3 treatments, 6 treatments? Is it case by case? Like
it's case by case, and that's where we can show a picture of the Norwood scale here, where basically if you're at the ladder 2, like a 6, 7, you don't have hair, there's no hair follicle to stimulate, this is not for you. Okay, your options are probably plugs or hair transplant, which is not my field.
Go to Turkey.
But even if you do go to Turkey, guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. But if that's your choice, you still actually have to maintain those results. Maybe a year after, once everything's settled, people don't realize that. That think it's even like when they have a facelift. You can have a facelift. I've worked on people after a facelift. Eventually, nature takes its course and your skin starts to sag. Yeah. Your hair eventually starts to want to recede and fall out again and thin. So you have to maintain these things. Even if you go and do the big surgeries, you have to maintain.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And then I know that you have a special machine for the skin.
Yes.
That's as far as I know, though.
Okay. So Opus is using radio frequency.
Yeah.
And all that means is that you're going to make tiny, tiny little microfractures in the skin, and then that stimulates your own collagen. So because the channels are so tiny, you can go back to work the same day. And what that does is it has a tightening and lifting effect, smoothing effect for fine lines and wrinkles. And if you have hyperpigmentation, like dark spots, brown spots, sun damage, it can correct all of that. And it's a case-by-case situation as well. So the younger you are or the better your skin is, like the condition of your skin, then the less treatments you would need. Excuse me. And then with hair, same thing. If you are just starting to thin out, your hair goes through a life cycle. So there's a resting phase, there's a growth phase, and you have to wait that cycle out. So it's not an overnight thing.
Yeah.
It can take 1 treatment, you can see results, but typically people need 3 to 6 treatments, 1 month in between for the hair, and same with the skin. But you typically, by the 3rd, 4th, 6th month, you will see results. And I photograph and I document as we go so that we can see, okay, look, this is when the growth really started, was month 3 to 6, right? So we document everything.
Yeah. And you have that analysis tool for the skin where, I encourage everyone to go and do the skin analysis because you'll see your face and your skin in a way that you've never seen before, right?
Yes.
Talk about what that analysis is and like what the kind of report is that comes on the other end.
So that's the Alma IQ, and what that does is it takes enhanced pictures of your face and your skin beyond what the naked eye can see. So if you do have sun damage, I can adjust it so I can say this is actually lying underneath the skin. So you might wonder, why is your skin dull? Well, look at the pigment beneath what your eye can see. That's actually there. Or if you have sun spots or sun damage and it's just maybe a tiny little spot, but actually it's quite large underneath, then we know we really have to address this because it will eventually come to the surface. Same with fine lines and wrinkles. You can see the beginning stages of that with this machine, and also with vasculature. So redness, spider veins, anything like rosacea, that will show. And so it's a very comprehensive way of saying, what are your skin goals and what do we need to correct to get you there?
Yeah, like gives you the blueprint of like how are we moving forward with this still?
Exactly. And then we can also gauge your improvement as we go as well.
Yeah. And Leena's offering free Alma skin analysis too.
Yes.
Limited time, so you better
Yes.
go book it because she's not going to be doing that forever.
And a lot of clinics, they charge for that. Yes,
Yeah.
that's standard. Yeah.
Like, what are some of the common on the skin side of it? Like aging individuals, right? I don't know, bags under their eyes. What do they say? Like a turkey.
Yeah, the jowls and the turkey
jowls,
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't just leave it on the face. I can work on people's upper chest, the décolleté. So a lot of people, that's where we age. Your skin might look really good on your face, but with a lot of people, it's the neck and the upper chest, the hands even. Okay, so we can target that. And also, if you have scars, a lot of women who have these C-section scars, they don't like that. Or even if they've had a breast lift and they have the scars there, I can target that with the Opus machine. And what's beautiful about it is I double numb so you don't feel pain. You can literally have a treatment. You can go back to work the same day. And no one will know you did anything. You might look a little bit red, but it's not like the older lasers where you need to hide out for weeks at a time to heal. So that's the beauty of the Opus. That's why people like it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if everyone understands this. Leena's got the machine where it's this non-invasive, non-needles, no pain. You can your quick recovery, and it's going to be essentially, I don't want to over-exaggerate, working miracles on you, you know?
Well, you're going to get results that you want,
That's
but
it.
It doesn't interfere with your lifestyle.
You don't need the Kris Jenner new face.
No.
You just
It's
want
you
want
it's just
you.
enhanced.
Yeah.
You, but rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I encourage everyone that comes and watches this. We're going to encourage everyone that comes because Leena is in the St. Andrews Village Plaza where Neighbor Media offices is as well too. So there is no risk. Go get your consultation for either the hair or the skin. And then while you're there, ask her about your gut and she'll give you some tips and tricks too. Okay, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye.